Hi, I'm Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic. Thanks for joining me. Today I wanted to talk about crafting on the go, and I was inspired for this video because that's what I've done recently. I was on a 3-week trip back to England to visit family and friends, which was amazing, but I knew I couldn't go 3 weeks without a little bit of crafting. So I thought I'd share with you what I actually took along just to make sure I could keep up with some layouts, scratch that creative bug that we all have, and give you some ideas yourself if you want to do some crafting on the go. This is the first time I've done it actually, and this is why I thought it might be useful, because I did forget a few things. And I decided to store everything in these. I love these little bags. You can buy them. Some of the stores were selling them actually in the UK. The Wilco's, the Range, they also these types of bags. I will quickly mention I did also take one with my sewing kit as well. I love cross stitching. I've got many unfinished projects, so if you like to incorporate stitching into your craft, then it's definitely worth considering taking along some thread as well with you and some other projects. But we're not going to talk about the sewing kit, we're going to talk about the craft kit. And I will say predominantly what I'm doing is layouts. So although I love card making, I really need a special occasion or a person to make a card for, and you do usually use a lot more supplies like my dies and stamps and so on. So what I would recommend is to put yourself together a little craft kit anyway. There's so many different collections out there, but if you don't subscribe or you don't own a collection, then I'll put a link to the video that I did a few months back, which is making your own with some of your scraps. But what I actually did, I've recently subscribed to Citrus Twist Kits, and when I went at the end of August, I literally was coming right to the end of my July one, and I was determined to finish that off, and I did a pretty good job. And the day before I flew out, I actually got the August kit. So this arrived on the 22nd of August. And so perfect timing, I was able to make use of that. And you can see I still have quite a bit of that left as well. So I'm still working my way through it while I wait for my September kit. So first of all, you need some supplies to craft with. So in terms of photographs, if I can show you, I have this little tub, and as you can see here, I've divided off with different sections my photos. So what I did, made sure I took lots of photographs that I knew I wanted to scrap. So all of these are the ones that I know I want to scrap. And I've divided them into things like family, one little word, my project life, some random things, Christmas, also some photos that I just love, like scenery shots. You know, they're always, if I've not got anything particular and I just want to do a quote, quotes there as well. So I rummaged through this and really picked out a random selection that I knew I wanted to craft. So photographs are the first thing you're going to need if you want to do layouts. Like I say, this is mainly geared at people that do scrapbooking, layouts in travelers notebooks, pocket pages, that kind of thing. If you're interested in a card making one, I can certainly do that separately, but as I say, this is more for crafting and scrapbooking. So once I've got my photographs, then it's the kit. So as I said, if you don't have a kit ready to go, consider making your own. I'm not going to cover that off in this particular video, so check out my link if you want to see all the essentials that I consider you need in a kit. And it's things like your stickers, your embellishment, your ephemera, your die cuts, the paper itself, obviously. What we're going to talk about now is the rest of the stuff that we use to go along with it. So one thing I did forget was my lawn fawn chamois. So I knew the kits always came with stamps, and I knew I wanted to do some stamping. Did not take this and regretted it because I was stuck to using baby wipes, which I hate to use baby wipes. Always remember a stamp cleaner if you're going to take stamps along with you. And speaking of which, an acrylic block. Now you can see this is pretty grotty because I didn't have my stamp chamois with me at the time, but just use a good size one that you know is going to be big enough for any of the stamps in your kit. So I'd had a quick look at the stamps that were with the August kit, for example, so I knew even the largest one would fit on this acrylic block. And again, I guess it depends where you're going to craft on the go, because I was going overseas, I was mindful of weight, what I was allowed to take in the country. Bear all of this in mind. Is it going to be checked in baggage or hand luggage of what you can and can't take to various countries? If you're not worried about space, then absolutely take as much as you can. I know a lot of people have the little bags for crop ups and things, but this is mainly, as I said, my experience from my trip to England and what I took along. So I wanted to do some inking. Now I decided I would also take one of these super cheap little ink pads. I knew I was only going to be inking in black. I didn't want to take and risk losing any of my precious supplies. This was something that I got free in a magazine, or I don't know even know where it came from, to be honest. And my idea was, you know, I could leave it. If I'm short on space and weight, I could leave it. And it did the job fine. Absolutely did the job fine. So those were the stamping supplies I did. Now in terms of adhesives, I took a few different adhesives, but the one thing that I missed was my tape runner. I did not take it. Again, I was worried I was going to lose it or forget it, but I was lost without it. So definitely take tape runner. Also foam squares. I forgot to pack these, and I wish I had, because I love having dimensions in my layouts. So if you do like dimensions, remember to take something that you can use to add that to your layout. I took my liquid glue, and I also took, I would never forget this, is my tape. So this is a scrapbook.com one, as you can see, and I love it. So easy to apply, and as you see it rip off, and it sticks really, really well. So depending on your preference when you're using adhesives, that's obviously a must-have. Another must-have is scissors. And I decided to take a little tiny one for fussy cutting, because I did have some cut apart sheets, as well as some scissors for a bigger layout. You see, these are well loved and very, very messy. Now that I'm back, I've got to clean all of these up. Move that out of the way. That was just some alphas I wanted to get through. I also took this. This is just like a little, how would you describe it? It's sticky at the back, so you can put it on your layouts. I'm left-handed and very, very messy, and find it difficult to draw straight lines. So this is just like a bit of a guide, really. And because it's got this on the other side, it serves as a little bit of a ruler as well, so I didn't need to take a ruler. So that was really useful for my journaling. And I don't even know what you call this. It was super cheap. I think it was from Kaisercraft, but it's so long, and it's still going strong, but great for picking off embellishments, moving things around, kind of stuff. And then the very last thing, oh, actually before I go on to the pens, is my Wink of Stella. I use this all the time. This is the white one. Now I took this by mistake. I wanted the clear one, and in my rush grabbed the wrong one. So again, having a kit ready to go, and I'm actually thinking it'd be great to just keep these separate and just buy duplicates. Things like pens, you know, we've always got millions of black pens and so on, and scissors. So so I don't forget next time, I'm going to keep them all in there, just as I do with my sewing. I've got a little sewing caddy for when I go away and do sewing. So I'm going to do the same for crafting. Now, obviously you need a white pen if you want to write on your photos, so I would never go without this. And this is my start. I love these pens, Stabilo. They're super fine, the 0.4. My handwriting, as I said, is not the best, so the finer the nib, the better for me. And I really do prefer writing in grey, but I took the black one along with me as well. So you can see, if I move these across, there's not a lot of stuff you need to get by. So like I say, we're not talking about die cuts. Anything you think you're going to need, you'd obviously have to print and tape with you. And then if you enjoy fussy cutting as I do, you can do that on the go as well. I didn't take any colouring mediums, no inks, no markers, no pens, that kind of thing, because I knew the kit had everything I needed. So it really does come down to your style and preference. If a lot of people like to colour on the go, but then again, a lot of people might not want to take their Copic markers out and about outside of the craft room. So these are the basics that I did, and I just also wanted to quickly show you the layouts that I was able to do while I was away, because you might look at this and think, nah, compared to what I've got in my craft room, I need a lot more than this to craft on the go. So let me move all this out of the way, and then I'm going to show you the layouts that I was able to do with just, I would even say 1.5 kits, because I'd already used most of the July kit, and you'll be surprised at how many layouts I was able to do. Okay, so I am back. Now, as you can see, I did also take an extra one of these little bags just to keep my layouts in, so they didn't lose any bits along the way and didn't get lost. But look how many I got through. I think the secret was the fact that the paper, the 6x8 paper, normally I would use a lot of it to cut up and make you know, little flowers or whatever, but I used it all as my background paper, and that really did help to stretch the supplies. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, and if you don't, why not, you will see that I've posted a lot of these whilst I was away. So apologies if you've seen these once. And I'm gonna, let me just zoom in a little for you. Now, I managed to do a total of 15 layouts. I couldn't believe actually how many there were, which was amazing. And I'm just going to put a little bit of music on for you while you watch the flip through rather than me talk through it itself. So that was 15 layouts I was able to do. I was there for 3 weeks, so I probably did every other night I did a couple, and then I was still able to keep uploading them. So I hope I've inspired you to craft on the go. If you felt you probably couldn't, it would just be too much hard work getting all your supplies together. I hope also with seeing what can be achieved with just a few supplies and a few crafting bit paper and ephemera packs, you can actually achieve quite different looks with the same kit as well. So thank you for watching. Don't forget, check out my Instagram. Happy crafting on the go. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching. Hey, thanks for watching. If you've got any comments about this video, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. That way YouTube knows to recommend similar ones for you. And finally, if you'd like to see more from me, and I hope so, please subscribe by clicking the link below. I post new content every weekend.